Hello everybody, welcome back. So in last week's video we started to learn about Korah's family, and especially when learning about Korah's family, I said the father's name of his, I haven't pronounced it right. So let me iterate that and correct it now for what I said. Korah's father's name was Izar. But what we also understood was that he was in the same family tree as Moses. I mean, he's from the origin of the Levites. Moreover, we saw who are the Levites and why they had the privilege to become the priests of God to do God's work. We covered this in the incident in Exodus 32 chapter. Please, if you want to understand what I'm trying to say, go into last week's video where we looked about that. So now we're going to see about Kohat, who is the son of Levi and the father of Amram and Izhar. So they are the grandfathers of Korah and Moses. So the Kohathites had a charge of carrying the objects associated with the sanctuary. And we can read this in Numbers 4th chapter where it says about this. So let's read that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so in Numbers 4th chapter, 4th verse, it says, "This is the service of the sons of Kohath in the tent of the meeting. This is the most holy things." So this is the background of Korah. He's the oldest son of Izhar and is from such a blessed family. Why is his name recorded in the Bible as a severe warning? That's what we need to see now. Why is it said? So we'll read Numbers 16th chapter though to understand this. So let's read that. Okay, so it says in the 2nd verse and 3rd verse, "And they rose up before Moses with the number of the people of Israel, 250 chiefs of the congregation chosen from the assembly, well-known men. They assembled themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said to them, 'You have gone too far, for all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Why then do you exalt yourselves above assembly of the Lord?'" Here, he is accusing Moses and Aaron because they're both gone too far, but showing themselves as holy. Both of them, he says. He's accusing them as they both are gone high and are gone too far by showing themselves as holy, he's saying. But if Moses has done anything wrong, he can point it out. Rather, he shows his attitude of seeking power and authority. So he changed the mindset of 250 Israel leaders to rebel against Moses. Because the main reason is he is jealous of his cousin's leadership. But what he didn't realize about Moses is God chose Moses and refined him for 40 years. This process led the Israelites and to deliver the purpose of God. Yes, first 40 years lived in Egypt. He lived in Egypt in the palace as a prince, where he gained all the earthly knowledge and skills. And God has sent him for the next 40 years in the Midian as a foreigner, and as a shepherd herd, where he learned the peace and humility and understood the grace and the power of God, which is the best than the human strength and power. This is we understand, since Moses had to do 40 years of learning to get to the stage, which Korah did not understand. And in this, he got angry that Moses and Aaron that was gone too far by showing themselves as holy. And he was angry, and since he shows that his attitude for seeking power and authority, he was angry about what they did, so he rebelled by changing minds of 250 Israel leaders. But the main reason he did this because he was jealous of his cousin's leadership or Moses' leadership. But what he didn't know is how Moses used to be as a person, as a prince, learning the earthly knowledge and even killing someone when he was in Egypt. And in that fear, he ran away. And God taught him how for the peace and the humility and made him understand his grace. And then Moses became that person. So I hope you understood today's video about what Korah had sort of done. We'll go into more detail about this next week though. So see you then. Bye.